Hello and welcome back. I think this is episode 63. It has been a while. This is future Kris speaking to you. There's been snippets of video of the last, 4 months or so that I haven't really been doing this. That will probably follow, but future Kris, just to say thanks for sticking around. I've had a few people emailing me, commenting to see if I'm okay. I'm fine. Just life has a habit of getting in the way, doesn't it? Truth be told, there was a lot of stuff has happened since November, I think. Well, I think my last video went up in January, but the footage for that was from like November, December time. The cars messed me around big time. Both of them went in fire. I think you saw the last episode, this thing went in fire. The Granada also decided that it would join in the party. It didn't want to be left out, and it also went in fire. But I got sickened after that, to be honest. I got sickened just fixing stuff. And yeah, I now seem to have everything running again. Now I say that, this is probably going to spontaneously just combust behind me, but nonetheless. I've done bits and pieces. I have somehow, for the first time in owning this car, or the red car, I don't have any leaks. I can't fathom it. It's definitely going to piss everything everywhere now, but I've no leaks currently. I spent a bit of time, went over the engine, went over all the wee places that it was seeping out of, fixed them all. And I've done maybe 300 or 400 mile, maybe more since then, and still no leaks, so I'm calling that a success. Parked up on a brand new concrete floor for Dub Shed show a few weeks ago over the whole weekend, from Friday evening to Sunday night. And whenever I moved the car, not a drip, so quite happy with that. Anyway, today's little mini project for this car, I have another 300 or 400 miles to do on Saturday. I have a run down south to Donegal and around in a show in Knockalla direction. So it's with the Irish Ford Escort Owners Club. You have to be careful and not say the Irish Escort Club because it sounds a bit dodgy. But I currently only have 2 wee tiny speakers. You saw me fit those before Cornwall. They're in the front door cards, but they're not great. You can't really hear them. To hear them, you have to run them at pretty much full volume, and doing that then overheats the radio when the radio turns off. So I have another couple of speakers that I'm going to sit into the rear firewall-y thingy that I made that isn't a firewall, it's just a compartment thing. So I'm going to set them in. Not entirely decided if they're going to go on top of it or facing towards me. I'm thinking facing towards me right now. So that I have some tunes for this incoming trip. But before that, I'll probably play a mashup of the update videos that I've tried to take over the last couple of months to get myself remotivated and failed. One of them, it went to mapping, so I'll try and get you updated on that first. Here goes. I haven't been doing too much in the time since November, but I have got a few bits and pieces nailed down on the Capri. Granada is now MOT'd, that's another thing. That'll be hopefully another video at some point. However, the Capri is finally going for mobbing. It's going tomorrow night. I have it as ready as I think I can get it, to be honest. But time will tell, I guess. I'm going to take a break now. Write in the comments what you think this car is going to make on the dyno. We'll go for flywheel power. I'll obviously show you both, whatever it gets and at the wheels as well, but guess flywheel power to see what you think it's going to get. I have a fair idea based off how much boost it's running and all that carry on, but yeah, fire your guesses in the comments and update with afterwards how far out you are. So here she is. I have done not very many miles since November. I think it was that last show I went on, Retro Stock down south. That was a 250 mile round trip. Then I've had another couple of maybe 100, 150 mile trips in it, just to make sure everything's good after the whole fire incident. I think I have all that buttoned up. I have no oil leaks at present, which is I don't know how. It must have run out of oil because it's just never not leaked, even in the old car. I have no oil leaks, no coolant leaks, and yeah, it seems to be actually running pretty good. It's still running very, very rich at idle and stuff, which will all be sort of sorted tomorrow, all being well. I'm going to take you along with me, try and get a couple of videos of a couple of power runs, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. At the moment, I can't leave it idle for too long, or if I do, it suits the plugs up, and it's not ideal for wanting to drive the thing properly. I've stayed well away from the rev limiter. I've just been sort of tickling the throttle, let's say. It's running closed loop, but I just don't trust it. I want it done right. So yeah, that's this for now. Tomorrow I will get it loaded up onto the trailer. It's a 2-hour single way trip, a 4-hour return trip, to get it mapped. Literally, this is Northern Ireland. That's the far end of the country. Maybe anywhere else in the planet, that's a very short drive, but in Northern Ireland, that is literally the opposite side of the country. Anyway, enough blethering on. Hopefully pick up again tomorrow whenever we have her on the trailer ready to go and get her strapped onto the dyno. Another day, another show. It's the Capri Club Northern Ireland regional show today, down in Bangor Marina. So give this thing a bit of a run out. Can't remember how much I've updated you after the mapping incident, but the car wouldn't stay cool enough on the dyno for the full mapping session. We only got about halfway through the whole thing. So it's running back on closed loop again, but it is running quite nicely, I have to say, because he got up to about 3,500 revs done. So that's where you spent most of your time when you're driving anyway. So it is running quite nicely, I have to say. Need to sort a few wee bits and pieces out in the car. There's a bit of a wobble on steering, which I think is play in the steering rack inner joints. So I think you can tighten them up in a 2.8 rack. So I'm going to give that a go at some point in the next few weeks to get this thing off the lift. Now the panels have finally arrived for it. Have you actually seen that? I don't know if you've seen that yet. Ignore that. The Capri will hopefully make it down to Bangor, and I'll update you there. So, I've got the firewall-y thingy removed. Haven't had it out since before I went to Cornwall, to be fair. Yeah. I've marked on before I took it out where I wanted one of them, and I'm just going to use this now to measure off for the other side. So, get my tape measure. Just get that. Well, that was a panic moment. Thankfully it hit on the rubber bit and not that, or else the whole side of the car would have been needing touched in. Whew. Be more careful, sir. I'll say 5 inches in. We'll go 5 inches in and 2 inches down. Okay. Now then, well, this stupid carpet on this is all just going to tear up if I try and drill through this, isn't it? Okay. Doesn't look like much maybe, but one speaker is in. I went for facing towards me rather than going up towards the ceiling. Ignore the butchery. What I ended up doing was have a wee air hacksaw, which is quite handy. Bought it in the job lot of tools ages ago and never used it, so I drilled a hole at the top and at the bottom, drew around the speaker and just hacked it out, and it worked quite nicely. So time to repeat over here, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so there's some amount of dust flying about in here, but anyway, that is the speakers fitted. I've just been for a bit of a test drive. I can't obviously let you listen to it because copyright on YouTube and all that carry on, but very happy with that now, I have to say. 2 speakers are in and working very well. I can actually hear the music now. Hands-free kit works as well. I don't even think you can see them in here, to be honest, but just in behind the battery, and then that doesn't go back and hit it anyway, that toolbox looking thing. So this is a refined version of what I normally carry in my boot. There's normally a Jenga masterclass in there, but yes, that is, I think, the car sorted for Saturday for the run. Don't know when the last time we were in here, so we'll take a wee look while we're this far. As I say, I've fixed all the oil leaks so far and went for mapping. Long story cut short with the mapping, it got a bit hot. It was okay off boost, but as soon as I started putting real load and put it onto the boost, then the temperature started creeping away up. I think the problem is the water line returns from the turbines. I think I need to disconnect those for mapping. I think you can get away. A lot of people have told me you don't really need them now for turbos. The only real reason to run them is to keep your oil temperature down so it doesn't go real thin on you. But I have a real big oil cooler in there, if you remember. You can just about see the lines for it on the cooler. So what I'm going to do, I think, is just disconnect them off the block and put the fitting back in, down onto the block itself, to blank them off for a while. See if that brings the temperatures down any, and then get it remapped. He got up to about 3,500 RPM done, so it's like a different car, but it's just not finished yet. Still running in closed loop, and I would like it done sort of properly. So yeah, I think that will do me for this one, folks. Yeah, it has been a long 4 or 5 months. I finally got this car to a point now where it's sort of half reliable. Yes, it still needs mapped, but it is going pretty well. I've been out and about to a few shows, as you can see probably from a few pictures up in the screen, and that's just the plan for this summer for this thing, really. I still need to get the water lines disconnected and the thermostat and stuff all done and get it remapped. Apologies, there was no actual power runs in this video, but it was running too hot to do it, so we didn't want to risk ruining everything so far just to get a power run. As said, I'm going to let it do me, and I will hopefully be back on a more regular basis in a couple of weeks' time. Thank you. Bye.